Hi YouTube! Welcome back to the Rochelle Show. I am going to be giving some advice about how to comfort someone. It's our job as friends and families and lovers to comfort people and help them feel better. And even though it's something that is so important, it's not really something that we're taught. And most of us are pretty bad at it. It can be quite awkward to comfort someone because you don't really know what to say. You just end up kind of rubbing their back from afar and saying, there, it'll be okay, it'll be all right. Which, although it might come from a good place, isn't very helpful. So I'm just going to be giving a few tips on how to comfort someone in a way that actually brings them comfort and helps them cope with what's going on. The first tip is to just listen. Just listen to what they've got to say. Let them express themselves. Don't feel that you have to interject. When someone says, why did this happen? What's going to happen next? We kind of feel a bit unsure of what to say because we don't know what to say, but we feel that we have to say something. Let me stop you right there. You don't have to say anything. If someone's hurting and they're sort of talking through it and asking questions, just let them get it out, because that's sort of a therapeutic way for them to deal with stuff, just by talking. And a lot of times we listen so that we can respond, but in a situation like this, all you have to do is actually listen. Don't pretend that you're listening and your mind's thinking about what you're going to cook for dinner. Actually get off your phone, look the person in their eye, hold their hand if you have to, and just listen to what they've got to say. Just take it in. Just understand how they're feeling. You should only interject if you have something helpful and constructive to say, and you know it's going to be helpful and constructive. In a lot of societies, but especially British society, we kind of feel that we have to stay strong whatever's happening. And I once was comforting someone and they said, I've just got to stay strong. And I just said, no, you don't. You don't have to stay strong. You can be weak. You can be vulnerable. That's allowed. Make it useful. Make it constructive. Make it something that they can think about and sort of say, actually, yeah, that's true. I don't have to know how I feel right now, or I don't have to rush into anything next. I can just be a wreck for a while. I can just cry and hurt and heal. Also, try not to make the situation about you. Let them feel what they're feeling and let them go through that. You might interject with something that happened to you. This reminds me of when I went through XYZ. And it's not about you right now, especially if your situations aren't the same. Be empathetic to what they're going through. Let them know that you are here to support them and that you are going to help them get through whatever it is that they are going through. Don't feel that you have to try and cheer them up. Sometimes we just need to feel bad before we can feel good. So obviously it's great if you can cheer them up, that's wonderful. But don't feel that that's your goal. Don't feel that to comfort someone you have to make them snap out of it or be happy or start to laugh. Try and support whatever it is they're feeling. So if they're feeling really shit, just let them know that that's okay. You can feel this way. If you're, you've been crying all day, that's allowed. No one's judging you. No one thinks any less of you for doing that. That's just support them in whatever it is that they're going through. Even if they might not feel sad, they might feel angry, they might be furious. Support them through that. Obviously don't encourage them to go out and fight someone, but if someone's at home and they're really angry and they're yelling and they're shouting and they're kicking things over at home, that's okay. People deal with things differently, and sometimes that might be what they've got to do to feel a little bit better. Just let them know, let them feel how they feel. Don't tell them to calm down. Don't say don't cry or don't feel sad or don't be upset, because that's easier said than done. And also they have to go through that emotion. So it's your job to be a shoulder to cry on, literally. If someone's crying, even though sometimes it can be really awkward to watch someone crying, you don't really know what to do, just let them cry on your shoulder. Hug them. You might not like hugs, but it's not about you. That person just needs to feel support, and that person needs to just feel love. So embrace them. Give them a genuine, not a half-hearted tap on the back hug, a proper tight hug, like, a mother would give to her child. Like, love them and let them know that they are loved and that they are supported and that you are going to be there for them and that they're not going through this alone, because that is a huge help to people. Also, make yourself useful. When someone's going through something, they're not as productive and proactive as they usually might be. So you may go to visit them and you notice that their house is a tip, the dishes need washing, like there's no food. Tidy up. Make food for them. Make a whole week's worth of food for them. Bake them a cake. Do their laundry if you're that close. Just make yourself useful in the situation, because you doing things for them that they're probably not even thinking about can be a huge help. Just making sure that they're fed and that, you know, there's some clear space around them. That is just as helpful as hugging someone or telling them you love them. That is an act of love and it is an act of kindness, and it will be appreciated. It may not be appreciated at that second, apart from maybe the food, but it will be appreciated and they will remember that you did that for them. But don't become the company that misery loves. Misery loves company. Don't get into a sorrow party with them. You might think that you're being supportive by being sad with them and crying with them, and that can be a huge help. However, if you are comforting someone, you need to sort of be that positive influence and just try and balance out the sadness. You both wallowing in sadness or anger isn't going to help that person move on. Encourage them. Don't force them, but encourage them to do everyday activities like taking a shower or going on a walk and getting some fresh air, going outside. They might not want to at first and you can't force them, but you can say, you know, maybe you'll feel better if you take a shower, or let's just take a walk to the shop and come back. Maybe it will make you feel better. And just sort of encouraging them to do other things, because sometimes when we're going through something, we are just in a bubble and we're just at home in the dark, in beds, crying or staring at the ceiling or whatever. Be that positivity that just sort of guides them out a little bit. You can't force someone, but you can just give them little pushes, give them little nudges, encourage them to start to bring normality back into their life. Don't encourage bad behaviour, loss or pain or hurt. People might start to drink or do drugs. You can't really tell someone not to do these things, especially if it's something that they do usually. You can't stop someone who loves wine from having a glass of wine. However, you don't have to watch them down 3 bottles. Don't let it reach the level that gets you worried. That's sort of your role, to stop them from harming themselves. And if you need to stay with them through the night or check on them every day or whatever, do that. Don't let them get consumed by the things that comfort them but aren't really there for them. Sometimes you may need to comfort someone but you're not actually in their presence. You may be speaking to them over the phone, and that can be the hardest way to comfort someone, because you can't really see them, you can't be close to them, all you have is a voice. In this sort of situation, it's just important to speak up about how much they're in your thoughts or in your prayers and how much you want to support them, and just letting them know that you love them, letting them know that you wished you were with them, making the effort to see them if you can. If you can't see them in person, FaceTime them or Skype them, and make sure it's not them always coming to you. Make sure that you are going to them. Do unto others as you would like people to do unto you. We may not always have the words to say, and we may not always know if things will get better, but most important is just making people know that there is love around them. There's nothing worse than going through something that brings you heartbreak and having to deal with it all by yourself. So just having at least one person by your side or reaching out to you that cares and wants you to feel better, that's a huge help. And I think we owe it to the people around us to be that support and to be that love and just, be that good energy around people, helping to uplift them and helping them to just not feel so down. So we should try to be good people and help our neighbours where we can and spread love. and spread joy and comfort others. Life can be pretty sad, but it's the people you share life with that makes it better. I hope this helped, and if you have any other tips of how you comforted someone or how someone has comforted you in the past, please comment below and let us know any other tips. And yeah, please like this video if you did like it. Please share with a friend, and please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.